entity right now. We want it to be. But my thing is, dog, as far as progressive politics, as far as black politics, we're going to have to form coalitions. I catch it, man. My brother's one of cut the check all day. I'm like, dude, okay, I said it. I believe it. I want it. But also, dog, we got to bring some white people that are cool with us. We got to bring some white people that are down for what we do. But you cannot change your story. It's got to be the same voice. Say it with your chest, no matter who's in the room. And the ones that leave, they're supposed to be gone.
Mm-hmm. I feel that. You worked with, well, what's your experience working with a couple Black YouTubers? Because it seemed like who else?
Yeah. Bring up any names. Who specifically we talking about?
The girl Lisa Simpson. What's her name? She on the hill right now.
Oh, you mean Brianna Joy?
Yeah. I call her Lisa Simpson. But yeah. What about Nina Turner thing?
Okay.
And you feel like she's not Black enough, or like her content, or what's she doing?
Brianna Joy Gray, first of all, is a very intelligent sister.
Yes, she is. Lovely sister.
She's forget looks. Her intellect, her brain, the way she thinks,
indeed,
is far surpasses many of her rivals. A lot of people that talk about her, they could not hold a stick to her. First of all, she's an attorney, and she went to some of the best schools in the country, in the world, frankly.
Right.
So that's what she is, and she's got the goods to deliver it on camera. So that's the first thing, and I give her props to that. In fact, and I owe her as well, because she brought me on the Bernie Sanders podcast. So that was one, that's as close as I got to getting Bernie on the show, was going on his podcast for his campaign. So I did that. My issue with Brianna Joy, and this was a couple years ago now, was she was on this thing getting a little bit too close to some of the white progressive type people. I don't know what you call them. But she was like championing for, it was this Black guy who goes around, talks to Klan members. It's this Black dude who goes around, tries to convert Klan members. And they were like making this like a thing. This guy was going around talking to Klan members. They're like, we need to try to convert Klan members, and we need to work with anybody who'll work with us. I'm like, nah, we don't need to work with the Klan. Black people don't need to go converting Klan. White people and Black people should not be trying to get Black men to go convert Klan members.
Nah.
That's not a story. We shouldn't be happy about that. So what should be happening is white people should be converting Klan members.
Mm-hmm.
That's their job.
That's
not our job to do that. What we need to do is go talk to some people in the hood, Joy.
Mm-hmm.
We need to go talk to some, why can't we go get Jerome? Well, there's votes, there's white people that would vote if we just enlighten them. There are Black people that would vote if we enlighten them. Why are we talking to people that hate Black people? It didn't make sense to me. To this day, it don't make no sense to me, bro. Because if we want to convert someone, let's convert non-voters like Trump did. Trump converted people that wouldn't vote to vote. Let's go get some Black people and wake them up. Let's let them know there's an option. And let's sell it to them. Let's tell them why it's important. Let's find out what they want and tell them how we can get close to giving it to them or give it to them. And that's how you get them off the couch.
But you said you said working, you got to work with white people, right? But
not Klan members. Not if you think my skin color is a negative, and that I'm less than human. If you are a Klan member, I don't got nothing to say to you. First of all, you got a psychological problem. Is that up to me?
Isn't that what Fred Hampton did?
Nah, that's not what Fred Hampton did, man.
Fred Hampton
was willing to work with groups. He was willing to work with groups who had already converted. He didn't make them not be Klan members or not be Confederates. They had to already be doing that process. See, the people that are peddling that, like these guys that took Fred Hampton's name, who had to give it back, those guys just wanted to sell this idea. First of all, a white guy put a battery pack in their back and told them it would be a good idea for you to be the Fred Hampton left.
Yeah.
It was a white guy who did that. I forget his name, Ron or Robin or some white guy. But the point is, Fred Hampton is a disgrace to his name to say that he was willing to work with anybody, even people that hated Black people. Because he loved Black people and gave his life for Black people, and he was in his early 20s. It's sort of like people who look at Pac and say, oh, Pac did this, Pac did that. Pac was a kid, barely an adult when he was killed. What are you talking about? But be that as it may, in my philosophy for Black pro-black politics.
Yeah.
That anti-white, pro-black politics, we don't have time to be trying to convert skinheads, Nazis, Klan members into liking black people to get them to vote. We could go in the hood and turn up the vote just by getting regular black people. But see, that's how much they value white people. They value them so much that they would go get white people that don't think that they're human. That's a problem. That's a problem. Before they go get a brother who's just like disenchanted, who's like, man, politics don't work for me.
Yeah.
That person he doesn't hate white people or hate black people. He just hates America's government policies that disenfranchise him. That's an easier sell. So that was my problem with her, man. But like I said, it was a couple years ago. I noticed she don't talk that shit no more.
But isn't it easier to, I'm pretty sure you and her agree on certain things. Like both of you guys are sort of disenfranchised. Well, you guys are pissed off on the Democrats. So I'm pretty sure there's a space, not well, y'all too, but I'm pretty sure there's a space where there's a black, we can get black people together that have the same mindset that.
Well, we never really had the conversation about it, but this is in the past.
Yeah, I understand, but
you know what I'm saying? Of course, there are things we agree on, but if it was never her blackness, it's sort of like what she recently said when they did the affirmative action thing. The way she grew up in those privileged schools that she went to, she was like the only black person there. A person that's been in that may theoretically understand what black struggle is. They may theoretically understand what it's like to live in Landover by the 24-hour store, to live in Palmer Park, right? They may understand the trappings of being from the hood. They may understand, not thinking you're gonna live to be 21, but they don't really know what it's like. And that's what I meant when I said she wasn't black enough. She didn't understand the black experience. She grew up overseas half the time and grew up amongst Ivy Leaguers, and she grew up in tutored schools. If you don't go to public school, and you don't kick it with black folks, and you don't go to black events, and you're a black attorney that went to Yale, Harvard, and you totally separated from blackness, and then you on white flat platforms talking about black people don't need reparations. What they need is we could just put black on top of a white policy and say it was just weird. It was like unnecessary, in my opinion. But I handled it. I shouldn't have been so aggressive. But to be fair, bro, I talked about a lot of people, not just her.
I understand that.
Jimmy Dore. I talked about Sam Cedar. I talked about David Packman. I talked about Nick Briahna. I talked about like 7 other people. But the only person they had a problem with me talking about was Brianna Joy. And she happened to be the only black woman.
And is she on that more of a race, not class type thing?
No, she's on a class, not race.
Okay.
But that's sort of changed. But like once again, like I'm not watching everything she does. Well, she was more like it's about money, right? And that's sort of the shit. Man, they spray nigga on LeBron James' house. Because what's the joke? What they call a black man in a 3-piece suit? A nigga in a 3-piece suit. I mean, come on, man. We know this. We know these things.
Okay.
We could pretend if she don't get a chance to talk and she dressed the right way, she can get it too. From the feds. Not me, from the feds. So I mean, come on, dog. I mean, it is what it is. And I wish her the best. And I know it's not easy being in that space and trying to make a living. And the Democrats came for her. So she had a lot of pressures as well. Because what's she going to go work at after working for Bernie? They all said she was an outcast.
Right.
Because she stuck with Bernie and didn't go Biden. So. But
you had your own thing going on when you realized that the progressive left ain't talking about our issues. But while you were in it, you were working with, or you did you worked on something with the Thomas guy, Jamarl Thomas.
Oh, Jamarl Thomas.
What was the
dog? Once again, this is another brother, bright brother.
That's what I'm saying.
Intelligent brother. You know what I'm saying? A brother that always felt the way that he analyzed situations, political issues was unique. And I like the way he takes his time and is very thorough. What was the name of his saying? Context. In context or something. I think that's what it was, context. So That was his buzzword, you know. How can I say this, man? I let Jamarl live stream on my channel. I never let nobody do that. And this dude was on my channel talking about me. Like, come on, dog. Because I cover a topic, and then he would let people in the comments section goad him into like debating the topic I talked about. And if he felt differently, he wasn't like, yeah, that's Tim's take, and this is my take. And it became weird. Like, dog, man. So like the third time, I was like, that's it, man. You can't use my channel no more. That's it. I wanted to see him grow. I had a bigger audience.
And you did what you were supposed to do.
Dog, I did what I shouldn't have done. I didn't know him well enough to do that.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
You should. I hadn't met him in person yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I kind of jumped the gun. I felt like I'm the older black guy with a little bit of a following, the biggest following in this area, in this space.
Yep.
It's my job to help our brothers like Jamarl.
Yeah.
It's my job to help our brothers like Nico House. It's my job to lend a hand where I can. Bob TV. All these people came on my show. I didn't come on their show. I was trying to help them. But at the end of the day, if somebody like you, if you help somebody, you don't help them enough, you're the bad guy. It's what happens. Why you do more?
Right.
It's never like, damn, I'm glad if I work with you for 3 months and it helped you go from 3,000 subscribers to 5 or 10,000 or whatever it was. Why can't you say, well, at least we had that?
Right. Exactly.
Why didn't you give me the 50? Oh, I was lucky to get the 50 my damn self. Yeah. I'm not a magician. You know what I'm saying? I'm still black. Right. I'm still talking about black issues.
Yeah.
It's hard to get to 50 when people want to hear other types of content, not just politics. But yeah,
that's right.
But then again, though, bro, like I said, I got no problems with Jamarl. I wish him the best, man. I hope that he's very successful. I know he's with Sputnik. Last I checked, he was with Sputnik.
Yeah.
I hope he's happy, man. He's I got no bad.
So your experience working with other black YouTubers, political YouTubers, it's been up and down, huh?
It's never been with somebody I've never worked with anyone who had more than me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what that would be like. Like, I never worked with like Charlemagne. You know what I'm saying? I had Killer Mike on the show, but it's not like I work with him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's different, man. And I wouldn't say don't do it. I say know who you're working with.
Know who you're working with.
Yeah, the internet, dog, and where I come from, like the certain code I come from, where if somebody give you a word, that's their bond.
Yeah.
I should not have to tell Jamarl, dog, don't talk about me on the channel. When you on my channel, don't criticize my content. I should never have to tell him that. That should have been an unspoken. But Jamarl was privately schooled. I didn't know he was homeschooled. I didn't know he was around black people like that.
That's what, yeah.
No one told me so. The coach is different. He's like, what's he got a problem with that for? Like, dog, I have an opinion. So, like, no, that's not black coach. You don't do no shit like that. That's how it is. I shouldn't even have to say that to you.
Right.
You shouldn't even feel like that is denying you something. You should be like, that's a given. If you my boy, you come over my house, and my wife is there, you ain't supposed to be on her ass. I shouldn't have to say, dog, don't look at my wife's ass.
Yeah, right,
you
right.
Be like, what?
Yeah. That's a nice ceiling you got up there. That's a nice little ceiling fan. Yeah.
If I'm at your house and you with your peoples, if you leave, I leave.
Right.
I leave before you leave. You about to go? I'll be outside the car.
So how's the Tim Black podcast YouTube working for you recently? And what have you been going through that can help other people?
Well, first of all, working on a book to that topic because I think it's an important topic. And black people that try to get into like the political space and that type of thing, I think I got some information to share, but I'll tell you this. I rebuilt my audience. You don't want to have to do that shit. It took a year to somewhat for me to feel like, okay, this is what I want. I'm finally developing an audience for the new Tim Black, which is black issues first, politics second. But when it's politics, is always from the vantage point of black folks. I can't be a black guy talking white politics. That don't work. So I think the most important thing is to choose what you want your channel to be for. What's the utility? What is your channel for? If you had to sum it up, what's my channel for? What does it do? What are we providing? And if you go from that and say, okay, now what are the people that want that? That's your audience. And that's all you do. You do that type of content. If you build out and you want to do sports or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Sports, if it's movies, whatever it is, just know what you want to offer and realize if you keep going, you will develop an audience for that. Because when you do that type of content, those are the type of people that will watch longer. Those are the type of people that will subscribe. If you're not reaching those people, you got to do more of this. What I'm doing with you.
Yeah.
Got to go on other people's shows. You got to network. But don't change your content to attract an audience that you don't want. Someone told me when I first got in this business, they was like, Tim, be careful of the dog you bring home because that's a dog you got to feed. So if you go out and you do a video, I did a video on Will Smith and Chris Rock because I wanted to. But unfortunately, I ended up with a bunch of people who didn't give a shit about politics. So, so it's like, wow, I wish I had another channel where I could have did that instead of having them on my channel. And then they're like, I don't watch this shit. What's this? Oh, man, he's talking about another person got shot? Oh, my God. I can't see. But, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's my advice, man. Decide what you want, what kind of content you want to put out, and then make that your mission. Also, a cheat code is become a servant for that content.
A servant for the content.
A servant for whatever it is. What really blew me up as far as politics was, I was so involved in the Bernie Sanders race. I tracked the entire race. And every step of the way, I did content about it. It wasn't a decision. It was like, it's my job to cover this. Everything that happens, I need to inform the people. So it wasn't about me. It was about what was happening and what my job was. I looked at it like, that's my job to inform them about this campaign. In every race, I got to inform you. Every news item about it, I got to inform you. Every piece, you're not going to watch everything, but you want to know I'm a resource for that thing. And once you do that, you become a servant because you're serving that community that you're building, and you're serving that purpose. It's not about, and the money comes later, the notoriety comes later, whatever comes later.
Yeah. I've been putting a lot of money into this.